when I got older, like when I was like 27 and I was reaching back to a lot of my friends, they had the same experience.
Oh, yeah.
And I've met people that I've never known during
With the same bully?
I hope she has hell. Really?
Let's not wish bad. Let's. What up, everybody? I hope y'all are doing well.
Welcome to Sweet and Salty, where we talk about something sweet and something salty. We are your hosts. My name is Selwa, aka Sweet.
And I'm Salty. So before we talk about today's episode, we're gonna mention the giveaway that we have currently going on. If you haven't watched our last video, which you should, it's an awesome review video.
Amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
I loved it.
It's a review video about the Oculus Quest 2 VR headset, which you should get because it's awesome. I know that Selwa's like buying one for every member of her family. Like it's that cool.
We have to.
Yeah, like I know my sister's definitely jealous because she definitely watched that last video. She's like, I hate you for making the video now. Get me one. But yeah, so we have a giveaway going on, and it's very simple to enter. You just have to make sure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel and all of our Instagram accounts, which are linked down below.
Yeah.
You get a chance to win $300 for Amazon gift card.
Right.
Or what's equivalent in Saudi Riyals. So if you have Amazon Saudi Arabia or Amazon USA, it's equivalent. So.
So that's great. So that's our second giveaway now.
Yeah.
And your first giveaway on this channel. Yay.
We're going to have more. I know we're going to have more.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah. We're waiting for you guys.
Yeah. Once the bigger our community gets, the more giveaways we're going to have, the more things we're going to have to interact with people.
Exactly. Yeah. So today's our topic is a bit tough to hear, but we think it's important. We're going to talk about bullying and cyberbullying and what is currently happening because, you know, right now all the kids are getting ready to go back to school and they're going to be facing this huge issue. And we're going to talk about our personal experiences as well as a few statistics and maybe ways that we could help the community face this issue.
Right. We're gonna talk about it in like sort of like a more personal note. We are gonna mention, as we said, some statistics, but we'll show you how we were in school and high school and stuff.
Well, I was starting to realize this because my daughter is getting older, and I think the kids are now going to first grade next year. So for me, I know when that started for me. So that was the period. Elementary school is where bullying really starts. And, you know, for me, I really believe that whatever characteristics you build when you're younger, and especially now because kids are growing way faster. Like they get to see everything, literally. Like my daughter knows the entire world. Like, you know, she knows that this is Kenya and there's Tunisia and China, and she knows like everything about these different countries. She wants to visit the world. And we have barely traveled when, you know, she's like, you know, during the hard times right now. But I could see that it's, you know, they get to pick up things a lot faster than we did. Oh, yeah. So I think that they will be facing these issues more often.
Yeah, I mean, the kids now have grown up with the internet instantly in their hands. So they're seeing things and they're experiencing things that we never got the chance to. Yeah. Because we were limited. The 90s did have the internet, but it's not the internet now. Anybody above the age of 30 knows what we're talking about. Actually, anybody above the age of 25 knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's completely different than what it is now.
Right.
So I have a little brother who's 10 years old. You know, he knows a lot more of the internet than I knew back then.
That's so true.
And they definitely they're experiencing so much more. And
faster in a shorter time.
So they have a lot of like, knowledge being crammed into their heads compared to what we were back then.
So what are your what experiences could you share with us that really affected you when it comes to a certain bully or experience that you had?
So I feel like when it came to bullying, the first stuff that happened to me, and we sort of discussed this behind camera, was when I first moved from Saudi to Egypt. Right. I was this like white kid with like light brown hair. My sister was blonde with green eyes, who only spoke like English, good American English, and like Saudi Arabic
accent
in Egypt.
Right, which is very...
We got destroyed the first few years.
Like Egyptians are very proud, and they're like, what are you speaking? Where are you from, kid?
It's like when an American kid from like Tennessee or Kentucky meets a British kid for the first time and they have not seen Harry Potter. Like, are you speaking English?
God! They're like, why are you speaking? Whoa!
He's like,
whoa!
What is
Are you
that?
trying to outsmart us with that accent?
So like I always got that like
From
anytime,
physical appearance to your culture to the way that you communicate
so like people are like,
in
this
Arabic.
is not matching. This is like, why is this white kid
The
speaking?
picture is not coming out with the voice.
The thing is, even to this day, when I speak Arabic, like when I speak Saudi Arabic in Saudi Arabia, people are like, huh? I was riding my skateboard at the Corniche a few weeks ago.
You think you're like foreigner trying to imitate the Saudi accent, right? Yeah.
So I had this kid. So I was wearing my mask, and this kid asked me about my skateboard. He's like, "Where'd you get it from?" And I responded in Saudi Arabic. Like he spoke to me in Arabic.
You thought you were like making fun of them.
Yeah, I was
know?
like, oh, I got it from the States. Like I was living there, and I brought it with me. He's like, are you speaking Arabic? I'm like, and but we're both speaking in Arabic. I'm like, yes. He's like, oh, I thought my brain and this is an exact quote. I'm going to just say it in English. He's like, I thought my brain did a Google Translate.
Oh my God.
And this is a child who's like 10 at the, he's
they'll be blunt about it.
He's very blunt, yeah. I was like, yeah. He's like, are you Saudi? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I don't believe you, but okay. I still get it to this day. Anytime I get stopped by cops, they're like, yeah, we're gonna need your residency card.
It's like you're gonna get arrested by immigration, you salty.
It's like you don't go to regular jail, you go to foreigner jail. And that's crap. That's a bad one. No, but like I got bullied when I first got to Egypt because of my accent and my appearance. I was like the big kid in school. I was also the fast kid, so
you were very active in school.
Very active. I played a lot of sports. I played soccer, basketball, volley, handball. I
think that made you social.
Yeah, friends with everybody at school. I always made it like a thing to kind of befriend everybody, especially new kids.
Right.
Because it was just, I understood being a new kid. I understood how it is when you're new in a school. And,
right.
Yeah.
And you traveled a lot. Like you went to different places. So you got used to people and like how to approach them.
And I thank my social skills to my parents because they were both very social. Both my parents.
They were outgoing
to this day,
and they kind of pushed you into those kind of ways.
And my parents weren't like, my mom was like the cool mom who anytime I was like at a birthday party or something, my mom would take me and introduce me to people and I'd be like, oh, you're embarrassing me. But then
come talk to my son now.
But now that I think about it, I'm like, well, mom put those social skills in me because
she doesn't want you to be shy. She wants you to be outgoing.
I have friends now who are in their like mid 20s who will go to a birthday party or something and they'll know one person and they will just be with that one person all night.
Oh, okay.
And I'll be like, all right, well, let me introduce you to other people.
Intimidated to kind of get to know everybody.
And we went to a party together and I started introducing Salwa to other people and I was like, oh, you gotta meet Salwa. And they were like, wait, this is Salwa from Instagram? Oh my God, I love it! We had this one girl fangirling on Salwa like crazy. I was like, all right, you need to back up a little bit.
I'm like, who is this girl? Why her with me?
Security up in here. But no, it was interesting.
Yeah, no, me and you, we kind of just like, we would stand up next to each other and be like, hey, we'll strike a conversation with everybody. And I think my mom and my dad were social as well when it comes to people. Like, they love that. But what, like, were you ever in a situation where you kind of felt bad for a kid and you just wanted, like, to, like, protect them? Were you the person that would get involved? Are you a person, like, when you saw bullying, you were like,
Yeah, so I was the person who jumped in the middle and stopped arguments and fights. I did not like to use my hands. I felt like physical violence is like the weak man's aggression.
Okay, when you don't know how to talk. Like when you don't know how to...
If you can't win an argument and you have to use your fists,
wits, yeah.
They don't have wits. But like I always like defended people. I always jumped in and kind of like stopped things. We talked about this earlier where there is this one kid in my class who was autistic. He was very smart, but he was just like slow into responding, slow into like...
He's probably very smart, but...
Yeah, and this is before we knew what autism was back then.
Socially, he might be having a hard time.
So I remember this one week where these group of popular kids started going around school and started like, I wouldn't say terrorizing
like
people.
Hazing.
Yeah, they were hazing everyone.
Like all
everyone. They would go to the basketball court and just kick the basketball out of the court like really far. They would go to the soccer court or like soccer field and just like mess with people. like they just kept doing stuff like that.
Right.
So I noticed that one day they were heading towards this kid and his group of friends. And I randomly, like, I had a bag of chips with me, like a big plastic bag with multiple chips.
Right.
Went and sat down next to them, started giving everybody chips, hung out with them.
Right.
And then they came over, like, what are you doing here? I'm like, oh, I'm hanging out with, so-and-so.
So you kind of wanted, like, to avoid it, because they knew now, they're like, what are we going to do now? It's not fun anymore.
No reverse card. Like, oh, no, a popular kid has shown up. What are we going to do?
Has any, like, bully ever put you in mind? Like, they were just like, when
yes.
see Salty, I'm gonna make his life hell.
So there's this one kid who decided that it was my time to have fun for a while, and he decided to start, messing with me every day for a while.
Okay.
And then one day I was like, all right, after I summarized how he reacts to certain things, how he acts, how he throws punches and everything, I was like, all right, I got this kid now. Next day I showed up to school. He showed up and he was like, making fun of me. So I responded back when I usually don't respond back.
Yeah,
and he
with
was
words.
Like, whoa.
With words.
Yeah, with words. And then he was like, he was kind of caught off guard. And then he was like, he got angry. And I was like, oh, you get angry because you got a small brain. You can't actually affect me. So, and I already knew exactly how, because I've been watching him since the beginning of school year.
His techniques.
Yeah, so I've been studying. I've been taking notes. Okay, multiply by 3, all that stuff.
Right.
And I swear to God, I remember this to this day. He came to he got so pissed off that he went to throw a punch, and I knew exactly how to throw the punch. So I just did this. And it went right by me in slow motion. I was reading, oh, there's 15 hairs right there. No, but then his hand went past, and my immediate reaction was just to uppercut him in the jaw, and he just folded.
Did you ever take self-defense classes and
Oh
stuff?
yeah, so I got because of all the bullying that happened in school and in Egypt, when I was living in Egypt, everybody's very aggressive in terms
physical,
of it's more physical, joking, and so I started having anger issues. So I took martial arts classes, mixed martial arts classes, and the discipline really made me not want to conduct violence.
Because now you put your energy into something, and you know that you could use it if you needed to, but you don't need to all the time.
I never wanted to conduct violence onto anybody.
Right.
It's not my thing.
Right.
I'm always the type of person who would rather talk.
Right.
If it does reach that,
I'm
I mean, that day when I did punch that kid, I ended up talking to him into detention. He did. He
so
threw the first
tell
punch
us about that. That part was really nice.
Yeah. So what happened was we were both in the detention room. I got a week's worth of detention. He got suspended he got in-school suspension for a week.
He tried to
he tried to punch me, and so when we were sitting down in that room, literally this is half an hour after the fight, I was like, all right, look, you can keep continuing this tirade of hell,
right?
Or we can just squash it and then just call it a day. And
right.
Then I realized, and then I asked him later on. I was like, "So why
What's
are you why are you being like this to other people?
Right.
You seem like a genuine guy, but you're acting out. What's up?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Honestly, I just want to make more friends outside." I found out later that he just wanted to meet my friends who are outside of school, who were mostly foreigners and stuff. I was like, all right, come out with us one time. So I invited him out.
To hang out.
Yeah. He was like, oh yeah, I liked it, but it's just not my thing. I was thinking in my head, all of
you
this
did all
torture.
of this to hang out with my friends that are from outside of school. I made you hang out with them, and now you're like, this wasn't worth it.
Yeah. I later found out that he started messaging some of the girls on MSN, and he was like,
oh, he was interested in the girls though.
So tell me you were into the girls. I would have hooked you up.
Yeah.
But that was that person that really put me in your head.
But that's pretty cool that you kind of knew how to talk to him and kind of fix things. Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, mine
what about
was
you?
horrible. So I mean,
I want to know. There's a reason why she asked this question. I want to know why she asked that question specifically. Why?
I mean, I was telling you lately, I really started thinking about it, and because the school that I put my daughter in, they have an anti-bullying thing.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Bullying is a big deal to them, and if they see it, they're gonna do a whole meeting with the parents. They would do that. So I love that. And thinking about
my cousins go to the same school.
Yeah.
We found out this week, by the way.
I told you, Jeddah is very small. Our city is so small. Mm-hmm. And so, you were asking me before, so I had this bully in elementary school. Could you believe? in elementary school. Like this person was so obnoxious. She would like literally try to control everybody because she was very wealthy.
Yeah.
And it was like, the like I felt like, the mom was kind of fell into money. And the dad was already very wealthy.
Okay.
So I think the way the girl was raised was like, look, everybody will love me because I'm wealthy and I'm like the most beautiful, I'm like the best. And she kind of just threw that in everybody's face, but she wasn't also doing that. She would verbally make fun of everybody.
Oh.
And then she would have a girl who was a tomboy. But she was like really naive, and she was a sweet girl when she wasn't around around the other girl. But she was the physical one. She would actually physically beat
the muscle.
these girls. And I stayed there, like, I remember for, I think, until 3rd grade. And then I moved to the U.S. in Florida. And I went to public school. And that school was, like, really small versus, like, a public school in the U.S., which, like, almost 3,000 students or whatever.
True.
And imagine, I had more problems in that school. I had bullying problems in that school more than any school that I've ever went to.
You know that you mentioned this now, I just thought of it. When I was in really expensive private school, I got more stuff stolen out of my backpack from other students, and I have more problems in that private school than when I was in the crappy private school.
Public school or
and just
private.
so you know, like in the
school,
Middle East, most schools are private, unless you're in a governmental school, which is very rare.
Very basic, like because it's very basic and it doesn't really like.
So like 90% of people in the Middle East have gone to private school.
Schools, and there's levels to private schools.
Yeah, so you have like international private schools that are like up here, then you have like little known international schools.
And then like obviously like there's different Saudi schools that are very well known as well and very expensive. But yeah, I think that really does when you put. I mean, when I got older, like when I was like 27, and I was reaching back to a lot of my friends, they had the same experience, and I've met people that I've never known during
with the same bully.
No, they remember bullying from a group of friends, and I think that now I didn't mention the bully by name to them.
Ooh.
Only the people that got affected from the bully know what I'm talking about. Like, I hope she has hell. Really?
Let's not wish bad. We hope she has a stomach ache.
Oh my God! No, I wish she had.
That's my new insult. By the way.
Stomach ache.
I stopped insulting people like really bad insults. I'm like, I really hope you're late for a meeting.
No, I am pity. Okay.
I hope your internet dies while you're in a Zoom meeting that's gonna get you wet.
I hope you realized all the people's lives that you have ruined at their childhood, and they have to deal with the trauma for the rest of their life, and they have to go to psychologists and therapists to figure out why they have.
She's going really harsh with what she's swearing. I'm saying I hope you're late.
Let me tell you. I'm saying you have a very, very miserable life.
You need to calm down with that. She's gonna cut someone. Is there a knife here?
No, I will never forget that.
It seems like.
Let me tell you something. It was one of those
Mm-hmm.
lessons, and the reason why I was so angry was because I wasn't even trying to like bother her or
You're
like
just
really,
living your life.
No, I really was terrified for the girls that were with me crying.
But then you have to think about it this way. Whatever bullying she's doing is, this has a cause and effect. Like there is something causing this bullying
At
back home. Yeah.
Right. I think maybe they taught her that, no matter we're like spoiled, just really spoiled, right? And getting everything you want.
Yep.
And she doesn't know how to express like what she emotionally needs from her family. And it's funny because like years later, I heard that girl that she used to be very close with, she actually she made rumors about her when they were teenagers, like 16. Like I was away, I was in the US. No, actually at that time I came back. Oh yeah, I was actually here. I came back to high school, the American school here. But at that time I heard it from another friend who knows them, and that she'd made the assumption that, she told her parents, the girl's parents, everybody, all her circles that the girl was. And it really.
In the Middle East, that's a big statement, especially in the 90s.
Think about it. This girl was 8 years old, 7 years old when I left? And until teenage years, she's still bullying people and causing rumors, and that girl almost really had bad thoughts about herself.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Mental health issues and stuff.
Yeah, because you think about it this way, where it's still very strict when it comes to allegations like that.
Right.
We're not going to get into that topic today. We are going to get into it on another day.
But yeah,
but this is a big allegation.
And then especially if you're going to cause that girl to go through hell with her family, with her friends, and have that reputation stuck to her, if she is or she isn't, but the way that she had used it against her. There are some situations like you need to you need to start talking to the school, talking to the parents that are bullying your child as well.
Yeah.
But the child who is bullying, that is really scary because in the future, that child is going to be very aggressive, become an aggressive adult. This is really common, and it's important that we realize both the bully and the person being bullied it's really dangerous for both of them mentally. And me keeping this, knowing this, it's important to address the problem, and that's why we wanted to do this episode today. And we're going to go through some incident statistics, which shows how important and for each type of bullying, percentage of bullying of girls and boys, and so on.
Right.
And while we go this, we'll give you our comments, and we'll add to it points as well.
Yeah.
So it says 1 out of every 5 students report bullying. Now it says report bullying.
Yeah, that's
right? It's very important that a lot of the times students would like to deal with it themselves because they kind of know that the bullying could get worse.
Yeah,
if somebody finds out and they don't actually do the proper.
Because it does sometimes get worse when you have a bully that has neglectful parents or a neglectful community that won't actually give him repercussions.
Right.
And then you go, and your child goes and tells you, and you go tell the school, whatever. It ends up being worse.
Yeah. And then the kid's like, "Oh, you're telling on me, and let me show you. I'm gonna make your life."
And we have this old saying here in the Middle East: "Al-fitna ashad min al-qatl."
Well, they have that. It's like rat. What is it called?
Yeah, like snitches get stitches.
Exactly. Percentage of male than female students report being physically bullied. So males are more likely to get physically bullied, where percentage of female than of male students reported subject of rumors and being excluded from activities. And it sounds like on purpose, being excluded from activities on purpose. And it really sounds innocent when you think about it. But
that's very damaging to
not
your
for a
mental health.
10-year-old and not for a 9-year-old and not for a 12-year-old who all they have is their peers,
Yeah, because they haven't built a community around them yet.
Exactly. And 41% of those students reported being bullied believe that they are going to be bullied again and that it will not stop.
Yeah, I can definitely sense that. Yeah.
13% were made fun, called names, and another 13% was subject to rumors. 5% were physically pushed, shoved, tripped, or spit on. And 5% were excluded again from different purposes. So basically, the most is calling them names and subject to rumors, so gossip and that. You know how gossip can do to a school. Like, it really lights up the entire school. I remember there was a video back then. If you think about it now, how damaging that would be. That would be like having child pee on your phone, because that is a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old girl being filmed in compromising situation, and it's very, very bad. And I could only imagine that person had to actually move out of school.
I mean, I remember.
So it's at least it's really. Very
I mean,
disgusting.
we were somewhat fortunate enough that we only got cell phones, or like cell phones with cameras and stuff like that.
It was very like
towards
premature.
the end of our high school career.
Yeah.
So like
that is so. Yeah, I mean,
the reason why I was smiling was because I remember in high school somebody made a hate page on Facebook when Facebook was still brand new about me.
Oh no!
It was so funny.
I would have cried.
Oh no, I thought it was funny is because it was a page that was like
I'm sorry, why am I laughing? You're making me laugh.
It's 20 people that were in the page, and then my friends found the page, and then all of my friends started to join it.
Okay, so that was cool. That's really cool how you guys and your friends went in and were like, let's do it.
We pretty much trolled them. It was so funny. It was not funny that I was being made fun of, but it was.
You made it.
We trolled them.
But that's a nice way to come back to your bully.
It took a while. It took like a few months for me to get to the page, and like people found out about it and everything, but it was we saw all the stuff that they had posted previously.
You kind of like beat them at their own game.
Yeah, like we found out.
That's like the book in Mean Girls. What is it called?
The Burn book.
Burn book. Yeah, I was like, but I think the difference is when you are physically bullied, there are some evidence, and there are there are some the system around you is what really needs to check it out and see what's going on with your kid every day and stuff like that. But cyberbullying is a little bit harder because sometimes those kids are, they're trolls. You don't know who it is and who is doing it.
Especially when you have applications like Instagram and Snapchat
We can
and
just
all these.
create any.
Other than creating false identities and false profiles, you have in the chat, you are able to have messages get deleted. So they can say something extremely toxic
and then
to you.
delete it,
and then it
you
goes
have
away.
no evidence. Yeah.
So you have
Snapchat
nothing.
is like that.
Well, Instagram too. If you go into that private section where it says invisible messages, if you push the text all the way up, it's invisible messages that will get deleted once
I'm not reading that then.
Yeah, so some people send it to send something that they're not supposed to send regularly. I know you sketchy people.
Yeah.
I see you.
Yeah.
But it will disappear once you leave that chat.
Right.
So whether you read it or not, whatever, if you accidentally close the invisible
Right.
text or chat,
Then
it will go away as well.
Right.
You cannot save anything on there.
And a lot of the times, they share videos, embarrassing videos they take. Like if a girl's in the locker room and then another girl starts filming her or filming him in a locker room. I think that is it could be very, very toxic. And like that, I think the police should get involved. I think there should be a specific network for. I think we have one here as well. That we're a hotline where if any type of blackmail, pictures, anybody threatens your physical appearances online
It's
or your physical
part of
image
defamation and everything.
online.
Yeah. So I was actually talking to somebody recently about images being leaked or anything of that information. We were talking in general about how policies have changed in Saudi Arabia specifically when it comes to that. That if, let's just say your husband or your partner, you've sent them some interesting images and you trust this person because they are your husband, partner, boyfriend, whatever.
Yeah, family member.
And that person decided to spread your images. People won't go to the police and say this person did this because they're embarrassed about the repercussion coming from the family. But they don't know that the cops saying like, "Hey, come to us, trust us, we will help you."
Anonymous and
we will make sure you get justice. And that person will serve very real jail time and
plus a big fine.
Humongous fines, I believe, that go up to $500,000 per image at some cases. Seriously, or videos. And so
that is true.
Yeah, $500,000 reals is like $150,000 an image. That's a lot better than certain websites out there.
And it's gonna, believe me, it will prevent a lot because of the ramifications of doing.
It was actually a case that brought this up. There was this girl who comes from a big family. I believe it was around 2010, 2011. Okay. And she had a situation where images were leaked of her and posted all over social media. And then the family got involved, and then family was like, "Oh, let's just stop because they're just gonna come around."
Gossip and
they ended up finding the person who leaked the images. That person is still serving time. It's 2022. They're still serving time. They still haven't paid the full fine, which they're still paying, and it's a whole thing.
Well, here, if you catch somebody, like if you upload somebody's image to somewhere and that person doesn't know, like if that person's in the background or something, it's very damning here.
Oh yeah.
Like it's a big deal. So you can't really just use somebody's
Oh my God, I have to say this. Last week, the Saudi Arabian government said any social media personality who's filming themselves outside, if they film somebody, they can get fines up to 2 million reals.
Wow.
So if I'm doing a vlog and I'm filming, so now it's like a whole thing now. And the more people it reaches, the higher that price is.
Wow.
It could be from 2,000 reals all the way up to 2 million.
We need to be careful then.
So I was planning on filming a few things, and now I have to just think twice before filming it.
Be like, maybe I need to avoid that. Do you believe in intervention if you see something?
Yes. I believe in intervention when it comes to a lot of different things. I think interventions in itself is very helpful as long as it's concluded correctly, as long as it's dealt with correctly. But,
I think it's important to be smart about what you see. Mm-hmm. And if you think you're going to be bullied directly at that time, or get something targeted towards you, maybe make a decision, make a smart decision. Maybe you could record it secretly and show it to an adult or show it to somebody. But being a bystander, sometimes you're standing by and you don't know what to do. I'm sure you could do something. Like that bully could leave, and then you can go up to that person and be like, listen, I don't know how to face that bully, but I really am sorry that happened to you. Right. And if you need to talk about it, I'm there, There are so many different ways. And believe me, those things will come back to you. Like whatever you give into the universe, whatever you find somebody that needs help at that time, and you could do the slightest little thing for, you will prevent something really big from happening. And it is a big issue. And I think that we need to talk about it more. And I hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode, because it's one of those issues that we kind of have at heart, and we just want to make sure that, you kind of go through this. If you're going through the same thing, or if you have kids or people around you, remind them that it does take one person to interfere to really stop bullying from taking place. And it's something like all of us experience, and it does make us stronger, but there are limits to things. Don't think just because you're getting bullied that you're just a coward or too soft to do anything about it. Some people in that position can't. So try to find a way to help support people around you that are going through the same thing, and teach your children to be kind, sweet, and understanding. Right?
Salty.
Or be salty when they need to.
Yeah.
Be salty.
Not always.
Not always, but you got a punch thrown at you.
Yeah, I just whoosh.
I can't. I'm just waiting for the punch.
She was. She took her earrings off. She's
I'm like, yeah, it's time. I get the. Can I? Well, that's it for today.
Thank you guys for watching today's show. Don't forget, we have that giveaway, so make sure you follow all the accounts, and we'll talk more about it in the next episode and give you more details.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.